Hi everyone. Welcome back to our n8n automation series. In today's episode, we'll dive into error handling. This skill is what turns good workflows into rock-solid, reliable ones that won't break when things go awry. Since no automation is perfect, it's crucial to know how to find, fix, and handle errors effectively. In just 5 minutes, we'll cover execution logs, the basics of error handling, error nodes, and how to build a comprehensive error handling system using triggers and workflows. So, let's jump right in. First up, let's talk about execution logs. I like to refer to these as the black box of your n8n workflows, and they're your first stop when something goes wrong. Just like a plane's black box records every detail of a flight, execution logs capture every single step of your workflow's execution, tracking each node, every data piece, and noting all successes and failures. They're your number one tool for troubleshooting and fixing errors, serving 3 essential purposes. Full link recording, logs every part of the workflow from start to finish, no blind spots. This allows you to trace exactly where a problem occurred. Data pivot, displays the overall status of the workflow and lets you dive deep into the input and output data for every node. If a node fails, you can check the error stack, the detailed error message, to understand why. Debugging and optimization, logs not only help identify errors but also reveal performance bottlenecks, like nodes that take too long to execute or high CPU/memory usage. This insight enables you to fix slow workflows and enhance overall performance. Using logs is easy. Simply open the log panel in n8n and check the status of each step, whether it's completed, running, or failed. If something goes wrong, just click to expand the error details or stack traces. This step is crucial for anyone troubleshooting in n8n. Remember, always check the logs first. Next, let's cover the error handling overview, the fundamental concept of how n8n manages failures and why it's so crucial. The core idea here is the error workflow, a preset, separate workflow that n8n automatically triggers when your main workflow fails. This serves as n8n's fault tolerance mechanism, transforming the scenario from workflow breaks, everything stops, to workflow fails, error workflow fixes it. Configuring an error workflow is simple. You set one up in n8n's settings for your main workflow, and it can perform various recovery actions to keep your business running smoothly. For example, it can send a notification to your team, so you're aware that something's wrong. Automatically retry the failed step. Back up your data, ensuring nothing is lost. Implementing this one step significantly enhances the robustness of your workflows, no more losing data or missing tasks due to a single error. Third, let's discuss error nodes. These allow you to take control of errors intentionally, rather than just waiting for them to occur passively. Error nodes enable you to explicitly throw an error in your workflow when something doesn't align with your business logic. This gives you the power to decide when a workflow should stop or trigger an error. When you trigger an error node, 2 things can happen, and you can choose the behavior. Stop execution immediately, the workflow halts right there, and no more nodes run. This is ideal for critical issues, such as bad data or a failed API call. Trigger error handling, the workflow jumps straight to your preset error workflow, which we just discussed, to manage the situation. Error nodes are incredibly useful for specific business scenarios, including data validation failure. For instance, if a form submission lacks an email address, this is invalid, and you can throw an error. API call exceptions, if an API returns odd responses, you can throw an error instead of processing bad data. Emergency process termination, for example, if a payment fails, you can throw an error and notify an admin immediately. Error nodes transform your workflows from being reactive to proactive. You can catch problems before they escalate into larger issues. Finally, let's bring everything together with error triggers and workflows, building a complete, automated error handling system for n8n. This is the ultimate approach to making your workflows resilient, and it consists of a simple 2-part system, the error trigger and the error workflow. Together, they create a closed loop that automatically finds and fixes errors. Let's break down how it works, step by step. Error trigger, this acts as the problem finder. It runs 24/7, continuously monitoring your main workflow's real-time execution status. It looks out for any node failures, exceptions, or error nodes that you trigger. Exception capture: the moment the trigger detects a failure, it catches the error event immediately, without any delay. Start error workflow: the trigger then automatically initiates your preset error workflow, the problem solver. This workflow contains all the logic needed to handle the error. It can send a Slack/email notification, retry the failed node, backup data, or log the error details for later review. In essence, the error trigger finds the problem, and the error workflow solves it. It's that simple. This system is effective for any error, big or small, ensuring your automations continue running smoothly, even when unexpected issues arise. Let's tie this all together with a quick real-world example: how this error handling system works for a Google Sheets workflow. Imagine your main workflow pulls data from Google Sheets, processes it, and sends a report. Suddenly, the Google Sheets API fails, and you see the node marked as failed in the logs. Execution logs: these record the API error and provide a stack trace, e.g., connection timed out. Error trigger: instantly detects the API failure. Start error workflow: the trigger then initiates your error workflow, which performs 3 key actions. Sends you an email alert with the error details. Retries the Google Sheets API call 3 times. Backs up the last good data from the sheet. If the retry is successful, the main workflow continues seamlessly. If not, you receive the alert, allowing you to fix the API issue manually, with no data lost and no tasks missed. That's a fully automated error handling system in action, demonstrating all the skills we just learned working together. Now, let's wrap up with our key takeaways, the must-remember points for n8n error handling. Execution logs: consider these the black box. They log every detail of your workflow and serve as your first stop for troubleshooting and optimization. Error workflows: enhance robustness. These are preset workflows that automatically trigger on failure, allowing for recovery actions like notifications, retries, and backups. Error nodes: provide proactive control. They enable you to actively throw errors for bad business logic, allowing you to choose whether to stop execution or trigger error handling. Error triggers plus workflows: this forms a complete system. The trigger identifies errors, and the workflow resolves them, creating a closed loop for automated fault tolerance. Effective error handling is what makes your workflows reliable, essential for real-world n8n automation. That's n8n error handling in just 5 minutes. You now have all the skills needed to build workflows that won't break when something goes wrong, marking you as a great n8n user. This is the final foundational skill in our series, empowering you to build, optimize, and protect your n8n automations from start to finish. If you have any simple questions about logs, error nodes, or building error workflows, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'm here to help. If you found this tutorial useful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more n8n tips. In our next session, we'll do a full deep dive into building a real-world error handling system, step by step. Thanks for watching. You're now ready to create rock-solid, resilient n8n workflows. Happy automating!